So let's talk about this weekend. What happened? What did you see? What did you miss? Kansas City played the Jaguars. And Big Ed, what were your thoughts?
Patrick Mahomes played that game on one leg.
A large part of it, yes, he did.
I was like, damn. But it also reminded me of an old Eagle that did that too. Donovan McNabb that also did that.
Donovan.
Okay.
You said Donald. I was like, who Donald McNabb?
I said Donovan. Donovan.
No, man, that game I enjoyed. The fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are able to hang in there and actually make it close up until in that last minute and still had an opportunity. That was incredible to watch. I big ups to the Jags because they
The
definitely did
Jag
a lot better than the Giants did that week.
the Jags gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, they did.
Taking one game at a time, Ways. The Jags gave them a run for their money. Um, and they did better than I think the average person thought they would do, actually, against that Kansas City team,
Yeah,
even before he got injured.
and I
But
will say this about Patrick Mahomes going down in that game. Chad Henne showed that hey, those Wolverines don't play when they gotta get in that on that field.
get in there and take care of business, baby.
Yep.
Take care of business like we have to until then. Pat Mahomes came back and took it on home. No pun intended. Anyway, on to the game that evidently somebody is so eager to talk about because for the second time tonight, before we got to the game, he made reference to it. The Eagles and the Giants. Wade, since you can't wait, we're
Man,
going to go to Big Ed. No. And I'll give it your thoughts, Wade. What do you think? What did you see, man?
man, it was a blowout. It was an obvious blowout. The the biggest takeaway from that was the Giants learned they cannot solely depend on Saquon to carry that team to a win. It get this deep into the playoffs. And Philly showed themselves to be probably the scariest team to play against this postseason right now.
Um, and I'll say my piece after that because that's an interesting take. But yeah, Daniel Jones got taken out that game, right? They just
Yeah.
took Daniel Jones out of it. I mean, he was just totally ineffective. Big Ed, what did you see?
The Eagles showed that they belong where they're at right now. Maybe against a weaker team, but I don't know that the Giants proved a lot this year,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't ready. That's
Uh,
the biggest thing they proved. They weren't ready.
they weren't ready for the moment. I agree. I
Right.
agree. Your mic could come up a little bit, Big Ed.
Okay.
Um, for me, I saw a mismatch. Um, the Eagles were just so far superior to the Giants, especially with Jalen Hurts back. You saw a big difference between the last time they played without Jalen versus now playing with him. You can also see just how much that team needs that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't earn if he doesn't earn another paycheck in his life, he earned that paycheck now. Because if y'all can't see that y'all gotta have this dude back there because he makes you a completely different team, I don't know what you need to see.
Yeah.
Really don't. As far as them being the scariest team, we'll see. I'm still being mindful that they were playing the Giants.
Well,
Yeah.
now
Uh,
you
I
got
heard
the
of.
num. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, now coming up this week, you got basically the number one offense in the league against the number one defense in the league.
Okay. Before we get to what's coming up, I
Yeah.
just want to say this. Um, a lot of people bit debate on Dallas looking so great against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Uh, but it was Tampa Bay,
Tampa
right?
Bay was a bad team this year.
They were, and they were a bad team, and they got exposed. And The Giants are not a bad team. I just don't think they're. I think they got a big win last week against a Minnesota team that had some struggles late, and the that was that, and Philly just ate them alive. I mean, we know this team.
Right.
We played them with Jalen. We played them without Jalen. We know this team, and they ate them alive.
Yeah.
Man.
Did what they were supposed to do.
Philadelphia was well prepared for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A Big Ed needs either a new mic or a new mixer because there's a place somewhere in between your two mic settings that's right. Uh, he's either too loud or too quiet. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I know most people got levels to this, so I don't know. Do you have a gain and a volume?
No. Not on this. Not on my audio interface.
Okay, then never mind. That might be your problem.
Yeah.
I was going to say because if you do, turn your gain all the way up and then work your volume because that normally helps.
Yeah. I'll be using my other mixer from now on. So
Bills played Cincinnati. Big Ed, what did you see?
the Bills had. I don't know. I think they were still in shock from what happened the last time they played Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And that's the way they've been playing scared the last few weeks.
Wow. Wayz, did you see it that way?
No, I really don't see it that way. The Bills, though they got basically shut out, they still went out there for a dogfight. It's just a fight they just couldn't win. I think this game was just the Bengals outclassing them.
Bengals are balling. Something I didn't know, and a lot of people missed out, thinking Joe Burrow played for Louisiana State and he got to come out in this cold that's going to affect him. Joe Burrow grew up in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Joe Burrow is not bothered
Oh no.
by the elements.
No. He's an Ohio kid, so
He came out there and was just phenomenal. I mean, he was just making the throws a lot more comfortably and accurate than Josh Allen. There was no panic in his game. There was no rushing it. There was no pushing it.
Oh,
He let the game come to him, and every opportunity he got to just drop it in the bucket, he did just that with no problems. And I was fairly impressed with his offensive line. I hear a lot of talk about how bad their offensive line is. I thought they did an okay job.
yeah, because they've had a lot of injuries on their offensive line.
They did. They were missing like 2 or 3 people off the offensive line.
Like 3 starters. So, and then a couple of the linemen they had in there were actually third stringers.
yeah.
Yeah, they made a name for themselves. That's going to be
They definitely pulled it together in that game, showing that even with these younger offensive linemen that's typically in a season won't get any play time, went out there and they did their job really well this week.
And I love Joe Burrow's comment after the game. He had a really nice quote after the game.
I didn't hear that one.
Send those refunds.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Send those refunds, baby.
Zach Taylor
ain't gonna be no coin toss, damn it.
Zach Taylor even got in on the joke too. He was he said, I'm sorry we keep messing everything up. I'm sorry, it's all our fault. We just keep winning and messing everything up.
San Francisco played Dallas. Well, I gotta let Big Ed get the last word, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just leave a topic without him having one last comment. No matter what value it adds or not, you got to let him get that in. San Francisco played the Cowboys the last game of the weekend. Wayz, what did you see?
I saw exactly what everyone should have really expected. That's what I saw. It, granted, these are two of the top defenses in the league. That's why going into the halftime, this was a field goal. Whose kicker was better game? Which we all knew San Fran will win that battle.
Good as gold.
I didn't
But-
see that. But Big Ed, what did you see?
I saw the same old Dallas. And it's like they freeze on the big stage every year in the playoffs.
They okay, not all of them. I Dak Prescott freezes when it matters in the playoffs.
So did Zeke.
Yeah.
So did CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, CD was balling. CD was doing his work.
CD was making some great he made some great catches.
Yeah.
He just wasn't getting a lot of opportunities. In fact, actually, he was getting too many. Dak started zeroing in on him, and that's how he gave up one of them picks. They were like, "Okay, he's coming to the CD, so let's just bait him."
Yeah.
And they baited him, and they jumped the pass and tipped it, and got the pick.
Another thing I saw is Philly's got their work cut out for them against that Hufanga-led defense.
Frisco has a great defense. Potentially historically great defense.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I saw. I saw it a lot different. I guess as a 49er fan, I saw it different. Dallas came out swinging. That defense was on top of it. Michael Parsons was a monster.
Yeah.
They shut McCaffrey down for the first half. They really did a good job on McCaffrey and Debo and keeping them fairly neutralized. They kept Brock Purdy under control, so he didn't have a great game. But he made big throws when he needed to make big throws.
And
Yes.
Kittle made big plays when he needed to make big plays.
Kittle made big plays when he and even in the second half, McCaffrey came to life and made some big catches.
Kittle was the
Elijah
clear
Mitchell
player
has
of the
some-
game.
I agree with that. Kittle was the player of the game.
Yeah.
But I think the key play of the game was when Tony Pollard got hurt. I hate to say it, but Tony Pollard was killing us.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard was killing us. And when he got injured and they had to lean on Zach, I could see after the first 3 carries, they're going to have to start throwing it on a regular basis real soon because Zeke doesn't have that breakaway speed.
Yep.
And you're not going to overpower this defense.
No.
You might be able to zoom past them, but you're not going to overpower them. And that's what Zeke is reliant on, and it wasn't enough. Next thing you know, they're dependent on Dak, and Dak is throwing eggs. But what I did disagree with Wayz with that first half, it was a defensive struggle, but it wasn't a field goal struggle. It just appeared to be.
Yeah.
Frisco scored 3 field goals, but the Cowboys scored a touchdown and missed the extra point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looked like a field goal score, but it really wasn't.
And see, I tuned in late on that one. I was coming back. I don't even remember what I was. I think I was at Kim's sister's house at the time.
Okay. So, the Cowboys scored a touchdown and missed the extra point.
So anybody that can kick the ball, Dallas is probably looking for a
But
kicker.
he ended up getting it together though. Once he made a field goal and he got a stride on, and then he made another field goal. So he kicked a couple field goals afterwards, but he didn't hit it. He did not hit an extra point. He missed the extra point.
I know he did not appreciate going back to that locker room last week. When the coach, I guarantee you, that's why he did better this week. The coach took him to the back. He's like, I didn't realize we had Cody Parkey signed to our team.
But he came out that first extra point. They scored a touchdown. That first extra point, he came out, and it was blocked, but it was going to be no good. He was
Yeah.
going to miss it, but it was blocked. So he missed the first one. He came out his first one.
Jeez.
Then he got an opportunity for a field goal, and they said, "Go ahead and kick it." And he made it. It was shorter than an extra point, and he made it, and it got the monkey off his back. And then he had to kick a long field goal, and he made that. So it was like he got that out of his head once he was able to get one off his back.
He got that confidence boost he needed.
Yeah, he had to get one. And yeah, I can't lie, man. Dallas had me on the edge of my seat. But man, when I say that Brock Purdy made some big throws at big time, and that's what I was saying last week about Minnesota. You big players got to make big plays at big times in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Speaking of Brock Purdy, what is our early evaluation of him this season? Is he rookie of the year quality yet? Even since he came in late, kind of diminishes his season long stats. But where do you think he stands in that talk?